What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? See, I saw Rob. I saw you backstage bouncing, Rob.
I love it, mate. I love it.
You didn't see my private. You see my private message? Oh,
yeah, 5 minutes long. Yeah, that's that'll be the next revision. Actually, no lie. So before we get in tonight, guys, first of all, hi. How's everybody doing?
Cheers.
For those of you who might remember that song, "Ghost in the Daylight." Again, don't take any credit for it. It's just amazing. And let's be honest, as a paranormal investigator, that kind of hits home. It's like we see ghosts all the time. We see these spirits all the time. And it's just like, you know what? It's cool. It's cool. It's fitting. I like it. Deal with it. So tonight, folks, we have a very, very special show. We're just going to kind of jump right into it. So if you're here, say hi. Feel free. We will acknowledge you. But we have an individual here. And we'll introduce everybody who's on a little bit of a time limit. So we're going to kind of get through this real quick. So first of all, you see from the last 2 weeks, Rob, he's dumb enough to come back for more.
Cheers. Thank you.
What's up, brother? Glad to see you survived your event.
Thank you.
We got Mr. down there in the corner, Mr. Bryan John Laverty. What's up, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm really, really good. I don't know why, but why am I so close? Like, I feel like I'm really close. Like, my head looks like it's like 5 feet wide. Like, good Lord.
It's all good.
No, but I'm great. Good. I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Thanks for asking me to come on the show today.
Hey, with the topic, you three had to get you on. Absolutely had to. And the third, you guys may have heard him. You may have even seen him. This is actually Caden. Caden, welcome to the show. Caden is one of the tour guides at Penhurst Asylum, as the name, as you can see. But Caden's role is a little different tonight. So for those of you who follow Paraconsultant, you've seen that we did a live. We did a live before a recording at Global Ghost Hunt, which everybody seemed to love. We all had fun. I know I had fun. I know the Wicked Queen had fun. But we did a live during the tour. And I want to say, you've heard me say this before, huge props to the tour guides, Caden and Autumn, and honestly all the staff that make Penhurst what they are, because this is something really interesting to me that you hear Penhurst, and let's be honest, if you've been in this field for more than 5 minutes, you've heard of it. You've probably seen it on some shows, and you think that it's all Mr. Big badass, let's go, you're gonna get scratched, pushed, and all this other chaos ensues. Thanks to Caden and Autumn, I've learned that Penhurst is not like that. And it made me take a step back and relook at and reevaluate the different locations. So, Caden, that's all because of you, brother. Thank you very much. And thank you for coming on tonight.
Oh, and honestly, likewise, thank you, Matt, for inviting me to the show. I remember when you guys first came out, the idea of this podcast was so exciting, and just the chance to get the word out about our site is great. So I'm really happy to be here and talk about this place.
Oh, and we're excited to have you, and I'm sure everybody in the audience is looking forward to hearing it as well. So first, is that him doing that, or is that me again doing that?
No, I think Caden was on fast forward.
Yes.
Okay, so same thing with what I get. Okay, cool.
There's a place that I've never seen somebody watching from.
Oh.
Tasmania. Good Lord.
Well, then let's hop in. So, Caden, I don't know if you've seen any of my shows. So when we start off, we always like to say hello to the audience, because the audience makes the shows, makes them fun and exciting, just like our guests. We got, oddly enough, no.
Some of them do. Let's be honest. Some of them do.
There's our brother Anthony from the Texas Wraith Hunters and Wraith World podcast. What's up, my brother? How are you tonight? Wendy from AZ Pie, who also was in the Global Ghost Hunt, did an amazing job and is coming back for more. I'm excited to see them. And we got Teresa in here. Hello, Teresa. Welcome. Yeah, Cheryl, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
She's one of my followers.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the show, Cheryl. Glad to have you. I love that.
Arizona Pie is doing the Yema Territorial Prison this October.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, I'm excited. I'm excited for that one. Really excited. Bud Files, what's up? How you guys doing tonight? You guys all have awesome icons. That's really cool. So, Caden, I know you're limited on your time. I know you're limited on your time. So first of all, a little bit about yourself, brother. What got you to Pennhurst? Little backstory, little bio.
So my backstory into the site is a little unconventional for what you'd think as like me being a tour guide. I actually started as a performer in the haunted house that we do every single fall because I live close by to the haunt, and I came through as a customer like in 2019. Thought it was like the most kick-ass place I've ever been to. The site's massive, and this place is so much fun, and like it's such an energetic site. And like I feel like, especially whenever I assume whenever you come here, this place kind of just starts to suck you in, and you're just like, there's just something special about it. And then I wanted to get involved, so I audition and I do a season in the haunted house, and then I'm like, I wonder how I can get more involved. And I reached out to people like Autumn who were doing ghost hunts and doing history here, and then started to train to become a guide there, and did like a lot of research on this place. I got to speak with a lot of interesting people. I got to speak with people who used to work at Pennhurst. I got to speak with people who lived at Pennhurst, and got to hear so many unique perspectives that really helped me kind of formulate the tour that I wanted to give, and then kind of start practicing and then start doing these ghost hunts. And now every single Saturday up until the weekend before Christmas, I'm doing history tours and ghost hunts every Saturday. And it's awesome. It's by far the most fulfilling job I've ever had.
That's awesome. Now, have you always been interested in the paranormal, or is it just like kind of one of those things that just kind of popped in?
Yeah, the paranormal, like it was one of those things where like the paranormal kind of just came to me. Like I was like, I didn't really seek out the paranormal my whole life. I mean, maybe I've had like a few weird kind of bumps in the night kind of things that have happened up until like I started working at Pennhurst. But as soon as I started working here, like it really just was so interesting, and it seemed like a lot of fun. And that's what kind of really enraptured me to start doing the ghost hunting there. And then learning more about the history of the site kind of made ghost hunting lot more interesting for me. So yeah, didn't start as a ghost hunter whatsoever.
Now, do they let you investigate like by yourself or anything like that? Like if there's nobody, it's kind of a low key, or
so we get to have the opportunity where we get to have employee only events, because whenever I'm there, I'm really we're really focused on the work aspect, and we don't get a lot of time to do stuff like that because we're constantly cleaning, we're constantly sweeping, and we're doing these tours. We barely get to find time. Like, hey, we kind of work at it at a really haunted location. Like we don't. There's those rare moments where like, oh yeah, this place is awesome, and there's like ghosties here. So most of the time whenever I do my ghost hunting, it's with the general public, but maybe like twice a year we get to have like employee only ghost hunts where it's just us and we just get to be there, and it's cool. But I will say though, the scariest part of my job is actually locking the place up at night, and that is something that happens every single day. That's like, yeah, that there's always those spooky moments like that. It's not where I get to ghost hunt, but you're just like, oh, jeepers creepers.
Yeah,
every day.
I think we all have experienced that. It's not when we're actively investigating that stuff happens. It's literally like you're setting up for something, you're making a plan with your team, or just hanging out. That's when the real stuff happens, and I think that's kind of cool. And that's honestly how it was that night at Pennhurst. I went down to go say goodbye to Scotty, and I think you guys saw it. I went down to go see Scotty and just say goodbye. I didn't even have any equipment out, and I got scratched.
Yeah, I
wasn't even trying.
Ooh, yeah.
We got to see a lot. We got to see a lot more than we really wanted to see, to be honest.
Try being there.
For better or for worse.
I
promise.
It
wasn't the location. It was Scotty.
We kind of got to see the dynamics of Mackenzie and Matt's relationship during the final minutes of that investigation. Are we here to ask questions too, or
have at it?
Or are we just sitting here to look pretty? Because I can do that, and Rob can too.
Me too.
So we can just sit here and look pretty if you want us to.
You want to look pretty? Hold on.
Caden,
Yeah,
for
now
people,
I'm pretty.
oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Now I'm pretty.
Actually, it's not bad. That's actually much better.
good look.
Actually,
I
yeah, that's
agree.
a good look. Yeah.
Good to you.
So for Caden, for
I like
people that don't know a lot of the history about Penhurst, maybe you'd like to share a little bit of the history about Penhurst for people that have never heard of before.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm sure there's a few people in this room that are not sure what Penhurst is, and maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I've mastered the art of like the 3-minute Penhurst in a nutshell tour. So to sum it up as the site, Penhurst State School and Hospital, or originally known as the Eastern State Institution for the Feeble-Minded and Epileptic, was the largest state-run institution in Pennsylvania for the disabled population. From 80 years of operation, from 1908 to 1987, most of the disabled people living in the state of Pennsylvania came to Penhurst. They were admitting people from the Philadelphia area. And as we come to learn throughout history, the reason why we start to see a lot of the neglect and the torment of its population is that Penhurst is a product of the American eugenics movement, similar to what was happening across seas with the Holocaust and Nazi Germany, because the disabled population was one of those groups of people that was considered undesirable, wanted to be totally removed out of the population, out of the gene pool completely. So they created all these institutions across the United States to house these individuals and eventually, spend the rest of their lives there. We had over 10,000 people admitted to Penhurst. We have over 5,000 recorded deaths through the state archives at Harrisburg. And then we come to find that, Penhurst and its place in history doesn't just stop with Pennsylvania. It infected the entire country because they got hit with 2 lawsuits that really changed the world and how institutions and how places are now going to have to run, because they found that this place is terrible. This place violates every constitutional right you can have as a U.S. citizen because of how people were restrained, how people were over-medicated, how people were living in like inhumane conditions because nobody cared about this population, truly. And since society saw them as undesirables, the Supreme Court finally stuck up for them. And the Supreme Court took Penhurst to court twice on their human rights violations that would then change the world. We're now in hospitals or places like Penhurst, you can't use restraints against these individuals. And now disabled people are starting to go back into the community, living with family, living in houses, living regular lives, and having to live inside of an institution that doesn't give them choices. And that's where we stand in history. And that's what makes truly our space so special. But to kind of sum it up in a nutshell, that's Penhurst for you.
Yeah. I now correct me if I'm wrong, was there not a video or a news report story back in the early 80s, late 70s of somebody going in there and actually
Yes.
Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Okay.
The only thing you got wrong was the decade. We're talking 1968, a little bit far back.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit farther back, but in 1968, the CBS Philadelphia reporter named Bill Baldini came to Penhurst to expose what was happening because he heard locally that, hey, this place is, kind of a shit show, and this place is horrendous, and people are living in filth. And he came in with the camera crew and then started to investigate and went inside of buildings that people can't even go in. And it was revolutionary because now for the first time, people in Philadelphia were starting to say like, holy crap, we are doing something wrong. This is terrible. You get to see in this, this news report, people shackled to beds, people restrained, wandering naked. You're watching staff members, like one of the doctors interviewed, his name was Dr. Fear. Seriously, Jesse Fear was shamelessly talking about how he abused people. And you have other staff members saying like, oh my God, we're trying everything that we can. And if it's not me doing the job, it's somebody worse. And this report kind of paved the way for other investigators in the future, like Geraldo Rivera, who did his report in Willowbrook in the 70s. But it's still out there on YouTube if anybody wanted to watch it. It's titled Suffer the Little Children. And just to kind of give you like a trigger warning, it's brutal, man. I don't know if have you three see it? Have you seen this like report before?
I watched it today before the show.
It's
And
brutal, man.
Yeah, they were interviewing that nurse too, right? And
Yeah.
that nurse and what was it at that time? That how many patients to one nurse?
Oh my goodness. It changed a lot through history, but during that time in like the late 60s, they were getting close to around 40 to 50 to one nurse. And not just a nurse's aide, somebody who could just be a high school graduate who just started working in the field. That like level of overcrowding was happening. It had like 4,200 people living at Pennhurst with less than 1,000 staff members. It was horrendous.
Wow.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is with there's certain countries that have certain things, and what is it with the states that has so many asylums? like you guys are overrun with asylums. Like
Yeah.
there seems to be an
Yeah.
asylum in every single state. Like here in Canada, I think there's 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, what we can say not to go there with governments, but the United States hasn't had the best history of healthcare compared to you guys. Obviously, we're a
Yeah,
little
that's true.
jealous whenever it comes to
Yeah.
you, but
Yeah. Oh hip, people.
yeah. So
Oh hip.
I'll clench my fist at you, Canadians, for a second. I'm angry. I'm jealous.
Okay, well,
Okay.
here's a typical thing that we say. Well, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Or-
And now it's all better. You know,
Do you feel better now? Do you feel better that we said sorry?
I do. That feels so much better. Thank you.
You know, one thing I found interesting with the tour was, and Katie, if you could just go a little more in detail about this, because I know during the tour we had some things going on, we were running out of time.
Yeah.
The train. There's a train that either runs through the property or right next to the property, and patients were being dropped off. There you go.
It was right next to the property through Spring City, and one of our former state employees was telling me a story whenever she worked here, and she was saying that there was this young boy that was almost forcefully admitted to the institution. At one point, the place was so overcrowded that family members would do anything to send their kiddos to Pennhurst, because at the end of the day, it was seen that, hey, this is the best place to do it. So nobody thought different. So this family member sent their kid through the train, giving them a poster that had their child's name, and then stop at Pennhurst. And then from there, they took the child into the institution. And it was so horrendous because, whenever we say eugenics, how I brought it back up like 5 minutes ago, we think of concentration camps and how those people were brought through trains into places where they were intended to die, just like how Pennhurst is.
Wow.
Yeah, it
so
is.
Do we know what happened to that child?
So what we found is that the institution would they tried to then forcefully admit this child, and they tried to run a check to see where this person came from, because Pennhurst was like very official. You couldn't just it was a theoretical dumping ground, meaning that people put their quote unquote undesirables there, but at the end of the day it was state ran, so you had to go through the government to be admitted there. So eventually they're able to go back to the family, and then this kid went to another institution, didn't go to Pennhurst, but yeah, eventually sent to another place.
I like the train going by. I hope they stopped at least and let the people off, and they just didn't push them out. For God's sakes, it's just horrible. I know we've heard so many different stories on Pennhurst on how the kids were treated and how the patients were treated and stuff like that. It's just horrible. It's a horrible part of history, to be honest. But I think what you guys are doing now, I think I froze.
Yeah.
Oh, he turned into a ventriloquist again. Cool. Brian's
what is going on? What is going on here? Am I frozen? Yes, I am frozen.
It's a disembodied voice.
Yeah, there you go.
Is there anybody there?
Show me a sign that you're here.
Oh, there we go.
There he is.
That's a hell of a sign.
What is going on here? I think I'm gonna. Okay, people. There's a lot of noise making in my laptop right now. I think I need to stop talking about this. There
Time
we
for a
go.
new laptop.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I think so.
I
There we go.
we didn't really get a chance to speak of it, and I know, well, at least at the time, Caden. But
Mhm.
I know during the walkthrough, you guys said you guys didn't hear it. But I wanted to ask you, did you hear that scream when we were out on the walkway, right by the Mayflower? Did you hear that, or was that just us?
So I don't 100% know, just because like all the other stuff that happens there. But did you ever get it like recorded whenever we were there when you heard that scream?
Well, see, that was what was weird because I was live. We were live at the time, and
Yeah.
you were talking about, I believe, where they got their food. How they got their food. We were right by the playground area.
No, yeah. Because that's what. Yeah, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, I remember. Yeah, you said Mayflower and didn't click with me, but then as soon as you said dietary, yeah, I remember. Yeah, we were standing there, and we heard that. So I don't know if that was a scream from the buildings, but I will say though, if I had to be like a scientific investigator, we got a lot of foxes, man. We got a lot of foxes on property, and their
Yeah.
screams are like even with humans. It's horrific.
Yeah.
I've heard some fox screaming. I don't know. That was
No, I
There's a-
agree.
pretty damn
Yeah,
close.
there's a video on TikTok right now where a person filmed a fox streaming. It sounds exactly like a woman.
But what was
Exactly
odd-
like a woman streaming. So
But was
that
was
would
odd
surprise me.
though if it
Yeah.
was and this is from my point of view. If it was a fox, you guys should have heard it. As loud as that was,
Mhm.
you guys should have heard it live. You
That's
had
so
to
true.
have,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because that sounded like that was right in the facility or in the vicinity. Like we were, I think it sounded like it came from infirmary, because the infirmary where we were at was up on top of the hill.
Yes.
And
very
it
far
sounded
out.
like it came from up there.
Yeah.
But we didn't see any foxes. I didn't see any that night, at least. So before I know, Kaden, you have to get going. What are some? Let's talk about the myths here. So one of the
Yes.
things, like I said before, was thanks to you and Autumn, my whole perspective of Pennhurst has changed. It's gone from big and bad to they just want attention. They want to feel like people. They want sympathy. What are some of the bigger myths that you, let's just say, love to hear, that I think are funny to you, or some of the ones that maybe annoy you about Pennhurst?
Okay. We'll start with lighthearted before I start ranting about like things that are like the lighthearted myth. It actually came on one of my first history tours. I don't know if this has been like a thing that's been going around, but some people, especially with eugenics, they, a lot of times whenever you'd have like a disabled like infant, some doctors would be like, hey, you can put them off to the side really on, or even before they're born, you can get an abortion, or you can do something like this to get rid of them so they don't have to be born disabled. So there's been like a lot of kind of theories brewing with Pennhurst and how it goes with that. And one of my first history tours I ever did, I was so scared because I was like holding this clipboard and I'm like shaking, man, because I'm like so scared, like stuttering. And this woman asked me a question. She goes, I heard they boiled babies here. Where did they boil the babies? And my response is obviously, babies were not boiled here. They were deep fried. Moving forward. Next station.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Oh God!
You know, next time.
I'm sure her eyes went wide open when you said that to her. That's
and then
hilarious.
obviously I'm like joking. No,
Yeah.
because her eyes like, I'm like, no. Babies were not deep fried. Babies were not boiled or air fried. It didn't happen at Pennhurst. So that is one of the funny myths. You can tell that after me saying that, she was very disappointed that her online theory was not true. Back to the Wikipedia drawing board. But anyways, other theories that have come out, and like I think this is like the best general one, like the most confused, is what Pennhurst was. And I know it says it like right underneath my name. It's, Pennhurst Asylum, and everybody thinks of Pennhurst as like an asylum. And it's so weird if I were to tell you like, no, it's not an asylum. You'd be like, what the hell? Why do you call yourself an asylum if it's not an asylum? And the reason why Pennhurst is not an asylum is because it was actually a state school. It was meant to educate disabled kids and disabled adults. Think of it as like a special education classroom as you would have in public schools today. Pennhurst was the first of its kind. And asylums or psychiatric institutes, they focus on mental illness. So people with like paranoia, schizophrenia, depression, bipolar disorder. But with institutions and state schools like Penrith, it's people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. It's autism, it's Down syndrome, it's cerebral palsy, that kind of world. So contrary to season 4 of Stranger Things, contrary to our haunted house and all that stuff, we're not an asylum. And that's what I always find like the most confusing thing that people get with our history. And I'm pretty sure, well, you guys 3 too, whenever we were on that history tour, it's like, whoa, what? Why is it on the merch?
Yep.
Why is it on everything else if it's not an asylum?
That's a good
yeah.
question.
Yeah. It's because of the haunted house, though. They
Yeah.
want to differentiate the history between the state school and then how they portray it now. And then finally, I think one of the most harmful myths that have came out of Penhurst happens with the newest building that we just opened up on property called Quaker Hall. And I think that has to do with, investigation teams that came to Penhurst before we kind of became a site for people to book tours with and all that stuff. So, and I have to say this one team is by far the most impactful with the reputation that people think of, when you say, Matt, the big scary Penhurst, oh, you're gonna get messed up and scratched and shoved. So my reason is that because back in 2008, this very small independent team, might have not heard of them before, they're trying to get their name out, called Ghost Adventures. They had this very small investigator named Zach Bagans. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's really niche. You might have not heard of him before.
Well, I'm glad you said his name, because I was going to say, you know what? You need to say the group name.
All right, I say it's because I'm not to point fingers at, but Ghost Adventures investigated the Quaker building, and they got hand in hand with one of the historians of Penhurst, named Jim Conroy, who, he was affiliated with Penhurst when it was open. And he was talking about the second floor of Quaker Hall being a behavior modification ward, meaning that people, were very aggressive up there. They threw tables and they threw chairs. And then, the way that, TV works and Ghost Adventures, and especially Zach, is that like, oh, that means criminally insane. That means that these were the bad people. These were the people that are going to freaking hurt you.
And I'm sure he got attacked by 5 demonic.
Yes, no, he did it in that building. This what's it called? A coat rack fell on him. In that building,
Aaron pushed it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, Dan, we agree. Zach again.
So now where this becomes a myth is where we start to look at what is actually going on with the place and what's actually going on with Penhurst. And, we start to see with a lot of the people there, we've, from reading from abuse records from the state archives, the most common trend I see is that these people were neglected. They were so overpopulated and so understaffed that there wasn't even enough staff members there to help take care of everyday needs like being changed and being fed. So, I've seen abuse records from the second floor of Quaker Hall where Zach's saying that these were the bad people. And I'm seeing that there's an abuse record of a kid who sat in his own feces for over 2 days where people weren't even there to change him and flies were surrounding him. And so many records like that. And we started to see that a lot of the people here at the institution, they wanted the attention from somebody who cared about them. A lot of people that came to Penhurst weren't even, considered by their family anymore once they were sent here. So many of the former patients would just call any woman they saw mom, or any type of guy they saw dad, even if they just met them. Like, oh yeah, that woman, that's mom. They take care of me. And, we start to see that these people are not growing up with a support system that truly cares about them. And these people are so neglected that, they will do anything to get the attention to be properly taken care of by the own people, whether it means hurting somebody, whether it means throwing a table, throwing a chair, because what they learn is that, hey, if I throw this table, a staff member comes over to me and they're going to watch me. And, our former state employee, Donna, who works on her history tours, worked in that building. She's like, yeah, the people in Quaker Hall too are my favorite ones to work with because I always spent the most time with them. They always caused a ruckus, but they were fun. And it's so harmful to hear that whenever Ghost Adventures and other teams are saying that this is violent, these are bad people. I think it takes offense for the site because these people were victims. These people were sent here because of the way that they were born. They never did anything wrong to be sent to Pennhurst. And I think that is like by far the most harmful myth that we have to bust, is that this population was not bad people. These were victims of a problematic society.
And
Mhm.
that's exactly why I said, guys, this is what changed my mind, is knowing the facts, getting the facts. That changed everything that night for me, for the whole perspective. And it's, you can hear the passion. You guys can hear it firsthand. You hear the passion. You hear, the truth behind what he's saying. And, again, Caden, this is why I wanted you here, brother. This is exactly why I wanted you here. And I know you got to get going, but I do want to say thank you for stopping in. And please send my thanks to Autumn and the rest of the staff, because you guys were just amazing hosts.
Of course.
But before we get going, how can people set up a tour, get in contact, or even help out?
So what I recommend doing, if you want to see the site and you want to investigate, we are private, so you can't just walk up to the site. You got to go to our website, www.pennhurstasylum.com, and I'm pretty sure you guys can link it or whatnot. And on there, every single Saturday until the weekend before Christmas, we book ghost hunts, public ghost hunts. And we do historical tours in the daytime where you get to meet former state employees. But our ghost hunts are by far the most popular that we do here, where we have people, trained investigators who know the history, that get to, people who've never ghost hunted before and kind of want to see the place. I highly recommend it. But we do private bookings as well. And if you go into our website, you can email us through our website if you have a paranormal team and you guys want to come and check out the site for yourself privately, like how you did, Matt, with your when you guys came by in March when you guys booked with us. And we have a whole set of guides that you can request as well. So not to pick favorites, but if you wanted me there again, I will gladly, I guess I would have to stop by and say hi to you guys. But that is how you can get involved with our site. And if you want to be involved with, the stuff that I do, I recommend auditioning and showing up to one of the audition dates that we have this summer for employment, where we're now hiring event staff. We're hiring actors. With Pennhurst, it's really tough just to start as an investigator. You kind of just have to get your foot in the door through working at the haunted house for a season, and then reaching out to us and then working through there. So if you want to be involved with the site, hey, check us out this Halloween and, work for the haunted house for a season, then get to know us. We'll get to know you more. But nonetheless, it was so great to be on here for like a little snapshot of time I was here for. And if you ever want me back, I know I will have days where I have more time, and I would love to sit and chat with you guys a lot more, because it sucks that it just flew by this fast. Seriously.
Trust me, brother. The invitation is always open. Always open.
Well, we'll be definitely talking soon.
Oh, definitely.
Regarding,
for sure. Yeah.
Regarding Pennhurst and global ghost hunts. So
exciting.
So yeah.
Super exciting.
If you guys want to catch a little bit, I want to say longer of a tour through Pennhurst, again, Paranormal Consultant on Facebook, YouTube. I think my regular page has the live still on. So you can go check that out, and you can actually, Caden was there and so was Autumn. You can listen in and watch the tour. I highly suggest going in person, though. Highly suggest going in person.
Oh,
maybe you hear the scream.
Yes, you just might. And if you do come to the site and you see me, I will definitely point you to our favorite spots where you can hear some really wicked stuff.
I'm going to try to do a half hour in the tunnel next time I come.
Yes, you got to do our tunnel challenge, man. No flashlight, by yourself in the tunnels and just listen.
I'm only 5 hours away from Pennhurst, to be honest. 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah,
I need to get up there, because it is a spot that I want to see and take a tour of and investigate.
Like, I know, I'm not trying to be biased, but I guarantee you can hear it from Matt's words, man. Like, it's seriously, it's like such a special place. Like, it's like once you're there, you're just like, holy moly, it's immense. The place is huge. The energy is unreal there. You feel it as soon as you drive up to the property.
Cool.
Every day.
I'm definitely doing it soon, for sure.
Oh, you better let me know.
Oh, well, obviously, yeah, of course. I'm just gonna drive right past the Matt's and go. Oh, by the way, I'm going to Penhurst. And
Why not?
then
Raymond drove by.
I start going live, and he sees me there, and it's like,
oh, I'm leaving. I'm coming right down.
yeah.
But I mean,
nonetheless,
Raymond drove by me. Why not?
Yeah. But thanks for letting me talk about Penhurst, and it was honestly really nice to meet you all and be a part of this. I had a lot of fun.
Great having you, brother.
Hope to see you guys and talk around in the future, guys.
We'll be talking soon.
Yeah, seriously. Have a lovely night, guys. I'll see you all.
Cheers,
See you
Kate.
later. Thanks,
Cheers.
Kate. Cheers.
All right. So before we continue, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're actually we'll go. Yeah, it's happening.
You've got to play the banjo.
I need my banjo.
What is
banjo.
going on?
I need my banjo.
Why is this starting? Why are people doing commercials? It's not like you go away from the stream. You're still there.
Yeah, but I promote out. This is where I promote.
I'm with you, Matt. Let's do it. Let's do the promotion.
Okay.
I need to refill my drink too.
Oh, there you go.
But anyway,
how long's the commercial?
We'll be back in just a few short minutes. Got our banjo.
Gotta love the banjo.
You gotta love the banjo. Banjo. Speaking of banjo, I did speak to Howard today.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh.
We're talking about many things. And we were also talking about Fear Fest when I go up to Fear Fest. What I'm deciding to do at Fear Fest, instead of having a table, I am probably going to be going around and filming Fear Fest, talking to all the vendors, talking to some speakers, and hopefully, and talking to some people that are there. I will film that all. I will put that all together, and we will put it up in the Global Ghost Hunt.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
So instead of me having a table, because I'll be honest, it's going to be very, very difficult for me. Like if I had a table, what am I going to put at the table? Just the tablet? Because
SB7.
well, an SB7. Oh, by the way, people, I'm doing an SB7 right now. You know, yeah.
Could you guys be quiet? I'm trying to do a
We're-
session over here.
Yeah. Stop with the outside noise. No. You know, so the problem is me getting merchandise over there. I'm in Canada. So if I get merchandise over there, I got to have it delivered. But the problem is I'm going to have problems bringing it back. And if I ship it back, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. So, yeah. So we're trying to come up with something maybe a little bit different. Me just going around and filming 3 days. So, and then putting it up on, like I said, Global Ghost Hunt. We'll see.
No.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see all that, and I can't wait to see what happens for Pure Fest and also for Global Ghost Hunt. You know, we're having literally 2 events in one location because you guys know Pure Fest obviously is down in New Orleans or Nolens. I know I'll get castrated by some.
Is that how it says? And that's how you say it?
That's how they say it. That according to them, that's the proper way. Nolens.
Rob, say it, please.
Nolens. New Orleans, I would say, but
Yeah, me too. Of course, we're
That's-
Canadian. I'm Canadian, so
Well, we're
New
always
Orleans.
wrong, so.
New Orleans.
Nolens.
No,
the proper
New
way.
Orleans. No,
I'll
that's
get
how it's
Howard up
spelled.
here. I'll get Howard
Look
up here.
That's how it's spelled. New Orleans.
No, I know, but you can't argue. Just go along with it. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
mhm.
I would like to say thank you to somebody.
By
If
all
she's
means.
still in the room, I'd like to say thank you, Shannon. Shannon sent a bunch of stars.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shannon. I appreciate that.
Nola.
That's why I said it earlier in the conversation. I said thank you so much, Shannon, and gave a heart and 2 X's and O's. That's what it was for.
I saw a bunch of things on our end because for those who don't use StreamYard, on the side you get people's comments and stuff like that. But if you send like an emoji or a picture or something like that, it's really hard to see it. Like it doesn't come up all the time like Bill's does. If it's like
I'm seeing
GIF
it at
or
my
picture.
end.
I don't see it on mine.
Yeah, I see it on mine. Are you seeing it on yours, Rob?
No, when the lady sent the stars, it was just blank.
No, I'm talking about Wild Bill's.
Yeah, I
emojis
can
that-
see Bill's.
Yeah,
That's
Bill's
fine.
I can see, but like that's what comes up.
Yeah,
on mine.
that's what it was.
Okay, cool.
And I'd never seen that on a live before, and it's actually quite pretty what they send.
Hmm.
So it's
That's awesome.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of it.
Okay,
I'll take a
that's
screenshot
awesome.
of it and send it to you.
Awesome.
So that was nice. That was nice of her.
That is nice. That is nice to
Yeah.
support, you know. And just wanted a reminder. Speaking of supporting, we had some new merch drop today. I had some new merch drop at paraconsultantstore.com. And just to remind everybody, until October 1st, all proceeds will go to the Jessica Marie Petrie Foundation. Since I can't be there for Fear Fest, but that's one of the foundations that are being helped for charity. There's many more amazing charities that Fear Fest is helping. Howard and them aren't making anything.
Any of
It's
my
all
lines?
good charities.
Any of my lines? Because we know you like to use them.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, it's just open.
Well,
to
there's
the
another one
public.
on there. Don't you? What's the one that you have the sweater of?
Happy Hauntings. That's
No,
mine.
you have a sweater that is saying that I say. At the end of the day, is that the one that you have?
No, that one didn't go public. I just made that one for me.
No, but what's the? Oh, so you made it for you and you bought it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I made for those of you who are like, what? I have a shirt that says at the end of the day, and typically I'm wearing it every time Brian and I are on, just because it's funny. But no, that was just me made. I just made that. I don't even think I used Teespring. Shop. Yeah, I'll put one up there. You know, I'll put it in the day one up there.
At the end of the day, and then put it in the back ghost hunting. That's what I'm doing. Or you can put ghost hunting plus gone equals airplane mode.
There you go. There you go. See, mine just says at the end of the day on the front, on the back, it says follow Parapost and Global Ghost Hunt.
Oh, okay. Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Oh, why not? It's advertising. Now I'll come up with some ideas. You know what I should do? I should put at the end of the day notebook.
Why?
So everybody can write down the questions. And they can have a great podcast too.
Well, you know, what's interesting about that, and you bring that up because of the fact that you can actually put up there, I have my notebook ready because of Through the Lens
Mm-hmm.
when you do copyright all the time.
There you go.
He had to get that little dig in, didn't
Well, I
he?
did. I have to be honest. I did. Yeah, it's not a bad thing though. It's a good thing. You know, I can't look at. You know, the problem is when I'm up with Rob. There is a problem when I'm up.
He doesn't
with Rob.
like clowns.
The thing in the background really bothers me, to be honest. So I'm looking at Matt the whole time, and then I was looking at Gaten the whole time. I couldn't look at Rob because of what's going on in this fucking background. And speaking of that, you know, as everybody should know now, we have the Clown Motel that is signed up.
Yes.
And the guy that I guess runs it wants me to come out there. And he invited me out there to do the investigation.
Well,
so,
I mean, you'll be out that way.
Yeah, I'll be sucking my thumb in a corner at the end of the night if I go to that place. For God's sakes, yeah. There's
Especially
a lot
if
of
a clown comes out the toilet.
Yeah, and if that big one in the center of the room moves, like apparently it likes to move, and yeah,
and there's a cemetery literally right next, like at the other side of the parking lot too.
Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of cemeteries, if you don't know, Boot Hill Graveyard is now part of the Global Ghost Hunt, and Get Out Paranormal are going to be investigating Boot Hill on the 26th. And what's great about that is the anniversary for Tombstone. So we will actually be doing something special with Tombstone. They're doing something special, so we're actually going to be there live doing that with them. So I spoke a little bit about it today with Bruce and those guys. So we will be planning on what's going to happen on the 26th. So it's going to be really, really good, especially with Tombstone. Such an amazing place, and they're investigating Boot Hill. Like, come on, like it's going to be an amazing investigation.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many amazing locations, and you know, that's one thing I really love about the Global Ghost Hunt, and honestly, what we all do, and that's network. And you know, you got Parapost, Paralinks. You know, we got all these different platforms that are promoting out these beautiful locations and great teams. Let's be honest with you. And honestly, that's one reason why I want to do the show today. I mean, obviously, you can't have a show about location myths. I mean, Rob, we've had 2 weeks of conspiracies, which have been fucking hilarious and great. And Bill, I see Bill's in the audience. Bill couldn't make it last week, but the week before, Bill was just having a grand old time. I was too, and I know Rob, you were.
Yeah, good fun.
Hey, Bob, how are you? But locations, Penhurst, obviously, we've already spoken of. That's I don't know if you guys took anything from what Caden said. I'm sure you did, and hopefully the audience did as well. But one thing I've realized, and you think back, I do 17 years, USS North Carolina, other things. There are places that, let's just say, are all hype. They're all hype. The spirits get misrepresented, and let's be honest, doing a client case like Brian, we just had a client case. You just did a client's house. It's different. It's completely different than actually doing a public location, or even a place like Penhurst or Eastern State, whatever. What are some of the places that you guys have experienced that, let's just say, don't live up to the hype, that aren't what they appear, like what you see on?
I got one. I got one.
Go for it.
I got two. People are going to be angry with me, though. Should I say them?
They're angry? Oh, well, sucks to be them.
Okay.
Go to another show.
My first one, Bobby Mackey's.
Mm-hmm. I knew
Bobby Mackey's is my first one. All hype, and yeah. There's no gate to hell there, people. Let's just get that out of the way.
Unless Raymond's there.
Or Zach Baggins.
Or Sam and Colby.
This is NC-17, but I mean, that's a cuss word.
Bobby Mackey's would be my first one. My second one will be White Hill Mansion in New Jersey.
Why White Hill?
White Hill Mansion is apparently one of the most haunted spots in the States. That is crap. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not haunted. It is. I just don't think it's haunted as they say on TV, and I've seen in some videos. So those would be my two. There you go. Yeah.
And Teresa, you and Brian aren't the only ones I've heard about Bobby Mackey's. I think Raymond said it, or no, Brian, you said it.
What?
It's scarier on the outside of Bobby Mackey's than it is inside.
Well,
Violations.
yes, the parking lot. Apparently, there's shootings out in the parking lot. People get killed. Behind Bobby Mackey's, over the train tracks, there's a path that you don't want to go down because you can either get killed or mugged at nighttime. So that's another one. But the most scariest thing in Bobby Mackey's was the amount of violations and codes that it has. Like the floor seems like it's sinking in. There's wires hanging out everywhere, coming out of the floor, coming out of the ceiling. It's safe to say that the guy that owns Bobby Mackey's is paying off the fire marshal. Guaranteed. So it's not like, I know people are going to say, well, maybe you just didn't get, much activity that night. Oh, we got activity.
Yeah.
We got activity. There was one point where, that video that's out of Carl that he's apparently being possessed and stuff like that. I think it's safe to say Carl wasn't possessed. I think he was just schizo. I think he had some mental issues at the same time. Obviously, schizo being the same thing. But at one moment, I was in that area where they did do the filming, and I said, is this the spot where the video was shot of Carl? And about 20 feet away from me, we had spirit balls on all the tables. And one spirit ball went off when I asked that question. And it was about 25 feet. It was probably about a good 20 feet away. And I got it on film. So, and I was the only one in Bobby Mackey's at this time because everybody else was outside taking a break. So Raymond was outside, Patty was outside, Jeff was outside, Vicky was outside. Yeah.
Was it Patty or Vicky? And it must have been Patty who said like one of the bathroom doors closed on him.
We weren't there yet when it happened, but apparently one of the doors opened up. Yeah, it opened. To be honest, I don't know. The doors of the bathroom are like really, really super heavy. Like they're really super heavy. And so I find that hard to believe. But hey, listen, I'm not saying it's not haunted. There is something there for sure. But there's no gate to hell. And I was going to say, when we were downstairs in the basement and people like, we did some EVP sessions with the recorder, and Patty asked the question, is there a gate to hell? And we actually captured an EVP saying no. Apparently, I don't know if Raymond said this or Jeff said this, but apparently there was another investigation team that was in there, asked the same question, and they got the same EVP. So, yeah. So I don't know.
Validation.
I don't know. Those are my two right there for this that I've been to in the States. Bobby Mackey's and White Hill Mansion. White Hill Mansion was very, very disappointing, to be honest.
In more ways than one.
And the tour guide. This is what I find with some tour guides, and that are on some of these locations. I completely understand that they have to tell stories to hype it up a little bit better. I know Caden doesn't do that because I saw his tour on the video. But this guy, I'm not saying this guy wasn't a nice guy. He was a really, really super nice guy. But some of his stories were so far out there that it's like, okay, dude, like, come on. Like, apparently he was upstairs at one point by himself, and there was a kid that apparently appeared, and he was having a conversation with the kid, and he thought it was an actual kid that was alive. Come on. You're just going to stand there and talking to a kid and you're not pulling out your phone and filming it? Come on. Like, give me a break. And, it's just the stories that was coming out of this guy's mouth. And he was a very, very nice guy. He really was. And I'm not taking anything away from him on that. but some of his stories were way out there. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what, dude? Now it's getting to a point where you're just saying it so people are going to get scared.
Yeah.
And people
And-
are going to be fearful. So
and that's the problem that I really have, especially with some of the shows. Well, one in particular is, they make things out like that, like it's like Penhurst. They make it seem like it's, you walk in there and you're limping out, you've been bleeding, cut up. No, shut up. Anyway, Rob, do you have a location or a couple locations?
Yeah, actually, I've got one, and unfortunately, it was the one that we done Global Ghost Hunt on last in May. So it was when we got there, we found that there was loads of wire attached to certain parts. So all the videos that they make out is really haunted. In one of the rooms where Nando sat, there was fishing wire attached to a bunch of chains. And actually, at the end of our hunt, Nando was unaware that we'd spotted it all. So we actually scared him by pulling it, and he freaked out big time. But
now, did you get that on camera?
Yes, that is on camera.
Awesome. That's
So
the most important thing.
I'm still waiting for the footage. So when I actually get the footage, it'll be all right. But that was the most disappointing thing, going somewhere like that and seeing cat wire everywhere and thinking, well, why are you faking stuff? You say you're haunted, but you've got fishing wire everywhere. It was hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, it seemed like a really, really good location.
Yeah,
it really
was
did,
nice.
and from what we see. But the only thing that I found really, really scary about that place was the video quality.
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful.
Hey, at least they were in landscape.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's not start on that because I can get crazy with that. Okay,
I'm hoping that when we do 30 East Drive, it lives up to its name, and it's not as
hype.
Yeah.
I think it's all hype as well. I think that's all hype as well. But and Dan said something earlier. Yeah, it is a very, very good dive bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how they stay open, to be honest. I really don't. And apparently, I think Raymond said it. Apparently, you're not allowed to go up in Carl's apartment anymore. So
really?
Apparently, you were allowed up there, and there's the place is an absolute dump upstairs. Like, it's just crap everywhere, and it's dusty. But there's what I found really fascinating. There's a table in the middle of the room, and it's got a crap load of cigarettes on it, and it's got a crap load of dollar bills on it. Everybody's giving Carl cigarettes and dollar bills. Like, there had to be at least, I would say there was probably at least $200 on the table in dollar bills. And some of the dollar bills were like super old. So, well, there you go.
And Nando was a star for the Global Ghost Hunt. He was not only in 2 investigations, but he was also with me on the GGH Lives.
Yes.
And he returns tomorrow?
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
Friday he's back. Have you guys noticed there's been a crap load of pictures of their vacation?
Well, he can't get on any podcast, so we might as well take pictures.
So he told me, he said when he got out there, the hotel have a professional photographer. So you pay so much money and she will take pictures of the whole group of you for the entire time you're there. And then
that's awesome.
You get all the photos,
yeah, that's awesome.
Prints,
Nando and Sarah have taken some really, really good pictures together.
Oh yeah.
What I liked the most is, I think it was the day after they got there was a big foam party.
Yeah.
And you see all the pictures of the foam party. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was really great.
He's been pranking. I don't know if it's his mum or Sarah's. I think it's his mum, but he's been pranking her. She's fallen over several times, and he's had the camera in the right place at the right time. It's like, I feel sorry for her.
I can't believe how much Nando and his mother look alike.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's like almost, and I'm sure his mother's an amazing woman. I'm sure she is, but it's almost like they'd be walking side by side and you would know right away that's mother and son.
Yeah.
Just because they look
Well,
so
maybe we
much
should-
alike.
We should put Nando in a wig. Just to
We
see.
should get his mother online. We should get his mother online.
There you go. Get her.
Yes.
There you go, Rob.
Yes.
Have her co-host one day.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So and don't have a guest. Just talk all crap on Nando.
Yeah.
Does all the embarrassing things.
Well,
you want to know the truth on
well,
Nando.
yeah, you're getting the dirt. You're getting the dirt on Nando, so you can blackmail him, and
And then for a follow-up episode, you get Sarah.
Well, I'm sure Sarah has a lot of stories.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee Sarah has a lot of stories. But you hit on something earlier, and I thought we were going to talk a little bit about, if you want to, the investigation on Saturday.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll let you set it up. So for those of you who may have missed it, Brian Saturday night actually had a client. I had a client investigation, and he graciously had me invited. Thanks to Glenda Dawson. She invited me. She sent me the link. Brian wanted me on too. And Saturday was also my birthday. It was towards the end of the night, and it was a great way to end my birthday. I will say that was a lot of fun. So Brian, go ahead and lead in, and I'll let you set up what you're.
Yeah, I'm gonna be showing a clip. Unfortunately, I can't show the whole video right now, and I will let people know during this whole video. I think we captured, including the SB7, which unfortunately was crap. We only caught a few things off the SB7 because through StreamYard, for some reason, the SB7 doesn't come through very well, and I don't know why. I bet if I had a microphone on the camera, it probably would have been different. But during the hour and 20 minutes of me filming, I think we captured 10 to 12 EVPs off the camera. There's one particular EVP that I want everybody to hear. Unfortunately, this woman doesn't want the video shown right now because she's trying to sell her house. But where this particular EVP is, you're not really going to tell what the place looks like. This place was absolutely massive. A beautiful, beautiful home, and a lot of money. They're selling it for a lot of money. Anyways, this woman has been experiencing a lot of activity in her home. Unfortunately, she seems to be experiencing some other things that are more about her than necessarily about the home. What me and Glenda determined about this home. So to put this in a small story instead of a long story, this house is about 170 years old. Now, there was a small house there originally, the one that's 170 years old. Over the years, they've built around it and on top of it. So it's been included into this home, because if you go downstairs to the basement, you can actually see the beams that were there for right from when the house was first built, even the wall. So she's been experiencing a lot of things that are happening to her that are not necessarily nice. Unfortunately, we're going to be having her talk to somebody to help her. But whatever associated with her is not associated with this house. So what we determined is that the spirit that's here is possibly the original owner of the house. And because at one point, and if people know me, they know I can see spirit. It's like one of those things. I can't turn it on, I can't turn it off. It happens when it happens. So I came into the house, I could feel the thickness right away. Right away, I could feel it. So I left the house to go back to my car to get some bags, because I was going to be doing in a mini investigation with a walkthrough. So I came back, and there he was right in the dining room, and he was running away from me. So, which I thought was odd. But anyways, so over the night, Matt and Glenda were there. Glenda was picking up a lot of things. We picked up this man. There's possible 3 kids there that are residual. not necessarily intelligent spirit. Why the kids are there, we're not sure, but the kids I think are mainly in the basement. I think we determined, which would be the original house, which was in the basement. So obviously there's been some upgrades with wiring and all those different types of things. Like we even saw Matt even pointed out the box. So the clip I'm going to be showing, I'm going up the stairs and we capture an EVP and it's quite loud. And it's a man's voice and it's weird because he says a name that there's no association with a person of that name that this owner knows. The only person she knows with this name is a sister-in-law, but I don't think the sister-in-law has ever been to this house. So I don't know. But I'm going to play it now. It's weird. It's really, really super weird. And when I heard it, I went, holy crap, what is that? So, but I had to be careful because I know Matt was there and there were sometimes voices because I think Matt had people in his car.
I had one guy in the car and I kept muting and unmuting. So
so I think you were muted at this point.
Okay.
So I was trying to see if it was maybe something at your end, but when you were coming through the live, it sounded like you were very far away.
Which would make sense because in a vehicle.
Yeah. So, but it wasn't Glenda because Glenda doesn't have a male voice, and it definitely wasn't me because you can hear the separation between my voice and then this voice. Okay. So if I need to play it over a couple times, I will. But I think you're pretty well going to hear it right away. Listen again.
I didn't hear it the first time. Not hearing any audio, brother.
No, nothing at all.
Are you hearing the audio?
No.
Nope.
Wait a minute. So let me, you're not hearing anything. Why? Because I don't have it up on the screen.
I was gonna say I didn't know if you were gonna play it audibly or.
No, I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
We'll get it, Joanne.
Okay. Okay.
We're all professionals.
There we go.
Okay.
So let me just go back a little bit. I was gonna play it auto, but I think I have to show it. Did I lose my spot? Okay, let me just play it from here. Sorry, guys, I got to go a little bit.
We're talking.
For
I
God's
personally
sakes.
got.
What demonic voice is that?
Here we go.
Thought I turned off. Did I? Oh, crap. Okay.
Did you hear it?
That was
not turned off. Did I? Oh, crap. Okay.
That was not subtle at all.
Thought I turned off. Oh, crap. Okay.
That wouldn't even be my passenger. He's younger than I am.
Do you hear what it's saying though?
Oh yeah.
Danny?
Did you hear what it's saying? It's actually saying Jenny.
Jenny.
Listen again. Listen again.
Matt, thought I turned off. Did I? Oh, crap. Okay.
That's definite Jenny. Now, the one thing I am curious about is right after this, right there.
Okay.
Is that you sighing or is that?
It's not a sigh. It's actually, I've been through this so much that it's definitely saying Jenny.
Right before the Jenny. Right before the Jenny, just as you finish talking, there's like a
Yeah, that might. Let me just hear it again.
Thought I turned off. Did I? Oh crap. Okay.
No, that's not me.
Yeah, that's definite sigh or something. I don't know.
Thought I turned off.
I
Did I?
definitely hear
Oh
the Jenny.
crap. Okay.
Mm.
Like it's clear as day.
Yeah.
Like it's just wow. Like Dan said, wow. Like,
Yeah.
but what we can't figure out, and what I asked the house owner, there's no Jenny.
Hmm.
So is this from like a previous owner? I don't know. I
Maybe.
just, it's really, really super weird. There were many moments during the video. Let me just stop sharing this. There was many moments in the video that I asked the question. What was the question? I asked the question. I asked a question, and then all I heard was hello.
Yeah.
There was another thing where I was walking through the hallway and I asked a question and regarding the man, and it went, hey. Like clear as day, you can hear it. But then there was a few other ones where we heard where it's obviously it's children that are speaking.
So do you know why the children are there? Is there any history about the children?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably end up going to the historical society to find out more information about this house and to see if there was a Jenny at this house at one point.
I was just gonna say it might even be one of the children downstairs. Maybe if it, I mean, it makes sense if it's the original owner. If the spirits down the residuals.
So,
are
but you heard it though, right? Like
clear
it
as
is
day.
loud.
Clear
It's
as
loud.
day.
I don't think I've had a lot of EVPs. I don't think I've ever had that one, an EVP that loud. Like I'll send you just the clip of it and listen to it, and it's like, holy crap. It's almost like somebody's right beside me.
Oh yeah.
Talking into the live.
Well, you were saying too during the investigation, he kept moving around.
Yeah.
I know we said that he was on the main floor, but if he was going upstairs too.
I don't know. I just had my thing with it was that he was down on the main floor and that's where he was most of the time. I don't think he travels throughout the house very much. If he does, it's very seldom, but his place is downstairs and especially the dining room area where I actually reach in. What's that?
That kitchen still threw me off. I don't know why it threw me off, but it just threw me off.
Yeah, that video will come up. That video will go live at one, like it will come up. I will go through, obviously there's things I'm going to take out, obviously, because the dead time and stuff. But it'll probably be about a 20-minute video. But with all the EVPs that we captured throughout the house, it was like something like, obviously most of the EVPs that we captured was a man.
Yeah.
And then the kids, there was one EVP that sounded like a girl as well. We were downstairs in the basement and I asked the question about the 3 kids. Are the 3 kids down here? And it did actually say just me.
Oh, well, then it wouldn't be the residual. Then there is an intelligent down there. Then
so I don't know. So it's definitely weird. But that voice, like when I heard it, I was going, okay, was that Matt? It wasn't me because I was actually talking and then that voice happened. It wasn't Glenda at all, obviously. But it was on the stairs. It was on the stairs and it was weird.
And I remember that time during, and I don't remember hearing that.
Let me show one more moment from this.
Yeah.
That I thought was, we were kind of going, okay. Because apparently this does happen all the time when they were there. So I am going to show this part. It's actually interesting. So
Forget what we were. He
Let me
was
just
talking
find
to us about something.
I just want to make sure I'm not at that spot. Okay, so here it is. So I'm just going to show this part. This is the last part I'm going to show. The lights are off, so you don't really see the place. So, you know what part I'm going to show, right, Matt?
I have a
You have,
feeling.
yeah, you have a feeling.
I
Okay.
have a feeling.
So, this apparently happens all the time, which is a little bit weird.
You're talking about the ending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit weird, and I did show the client this, and she goes, "That happens all the time." And there's nothing wrong with the electrical.
Mm.
They've had people come in.
Vicky
They
was
had-
wondering what you were talking about before the Jenny.
What do you mean, Brian? What was you were saying before that was said?
Before you were going up the stairs.
Oh, we were just talking
Oh,
about the place in general, to be honest. Okay, so this
I'm gonna make
apparently
this
happens.
full screen.
This apparently happens all the time. Well, not all the time, but it does happen, and they have no explanation for it. So I turned out the lights, and then this happened.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us know.
Wow. Are you letting us know that you're leaving?
So there you go.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to show right now. But that video will eventually come up. When the house sells, that's when I'm going to be able to release the video.
Yeah,
I've
and-
agreed with that. So,
And then the
Yeah.
new owners put it back up for sale.
Oh, we have that here. We have all the time. I have my ideas, but
but you know, the thing is with this, this is where Canada and the United States differ. It's not a law here that you have to disclose anything going on in your house, and I know in the States you do.
certain states,
So,
yes.
Yeah. So,
Which is cool.
unfortunately, at the end of this video, which I'm not sure if I'm going to keep on or not, but at the end of this video, Glenda did her thing, I did my thing, and I'm not sure if I'm going to show mine. I'll probably just show Glenda's, but the energy changed in the house once Glenda finished her little session there. So hopefully,
Mhm.
we help the spirit. Maybe not crossover, but maybe
Come to
starting to
terms.
cross over. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So anyway, folks, so that is going to be the wrap up for tonight. We're going to get out of here, but I want to say, if you take anything away from this, understand this: when you go to a location, whether it's Penhurst, a client, whatever, know your history, do your research, do your due diligence, because places like that may seem like big and bad, but in actuality, it's not. They just want attention, and have
Unexpected
some-
damages, yes, but I'm talking about deaths or spirit.
Yeah,
You don't have to disclose.
some states actually require you to say if it's haunted or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely, guys, do your due diligence, do your research, and accept the truth for what it is.
Yeah.
It's just that simple, and this is why I love events like Global Ghost Hunt, is because that's what we're doing. We're showcasing the truth. It's not about anything else. It's not about money. It's not about boosting your own ego. No, it's about showcasing the truth. And it's amazing to see how many people are all about it. They get butthurt because there's another event that's doing something else, or there's something going on. You know what? Who cares? Let's all work together. Let's all celebrate the community together. That's what it's about.
Here.
And if I can say anything, I wish I would stop seeing this. And I know the people here. I know the people in this room. I know the people in the audience right now. But I'm seeing it more and more recently. People going into locations and being disrespectful. I really wish that would stop. I
Yeah.
really wish it would. And because we're going into their domain. I'm sure once you pass away, and if you're hanging out in your place where you were raised, you don't want people to come in and damage it. So I wish that would start, because
Yeah.
I'm seeing it way too much recently.
And it goes even beyond that too. Respect your location, respect the spirits, and respect each other. Because like it showed in the beginning, this is where para-unity is, because we show each other respect, we show each other understanding, and everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. If someone's opinion differs from yours, who cares? Do you? If someone doesn't like it,
Yep.
they can go be with Zach Baggins. Hey, I'm okay with saying that. I don't care. Fuck him.
God. We got to stop. We got to come up with another name for him.
I would, but that would get me canceled.
Yeah, I know, but we continue to say his name. We're just saying his name. It's making him more popular.
Never mind. I'm still too sober. Anyway.
There you go. There you go.
But no, the fact is, folks, if somebody's doing something that you're doing, cool, have fun with it. It's not a competition. Fuck off. Let's all work together on this, because like the investigation Brian did, we did it together. It was a joint effort. Penhurst, a joint effort. I know Rob. Look at what Rob did. Rob worked with Portal to the Paranormal. Yep. It's all working together, having fun. Respect the location, respect each other, and know your facts. And don't be afraid of the truth. That's what we're fucking after.
That is true.
So,
yes.
All right, guys. So before we leave, again, let's. Where can everybody find you guys? Well, everybody knows where to find Brian.
Everywhere.
yeah. Sums it up.
Ass.
Rob, go ahead, brother.
YouTube, The Patrol Paranormal, Facebook, The Patrol Paranormal, and our podcast, the Shadow Podcast.
Awesome.
Shadow Podcast.
Yeah.
Shadow Podcast. Love
Creepy
it.
clowns included.
Yes. Good God. Good God.
So
with me on all social media, Santophobia, Through the Lens, Parapost Network, the app, Parapost Network Central, Parapost 2. And just to let everybody know, I got a possible new show that's coming out soon.
Ooh.
Yes. Now, I want to make a little bit of an announcement here before we go. I am looking for a co-host. I need this is what I said to Howard today. I go, Howard, I love everybody on Paralinks. I love everybody on Parapost Network Central. I love Matt. I love Rob. I love Nando. I love all these guys.
And
and Anthony, and I love everybody. Okay. I love everybody, but I need a fresh face. I need somebody new.
I can see what the Wicked Queen's doing.
I need somebody new. She's already got a show. This is what I mean. I need somebody new. If you are interested, and I got a great idea for a show, and it's going to happen. When it's going to happen, that depends. But I need what did you write? Is it something sarcastic?
I didn't write anything.
Yeah. Oh God. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that.
Yeah, so, a lot of free time.
I need a fresh face. I need somebody new, and I don't care if it's a guy. I don't care if it's a girl. Could be either. Okay. I need somebody that's really interested in the paranormal. I need somebody that is more than happy to be on a vodcast. Because my show is something that I don't think anybody has going right now. So, Rod, did I tell you what my show was?
You did indeed.
I did. So, it's a good show idea, and I think people are going to have fun with it. I think people are going to enjoy it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, I need a fresh face. I need somebody new. If you know anybody that's interested in doing a vodcast with me, and sometimes Howard, because Howard said to me, I want to be on that show as a co-host, not as a co-host. He wants to be as a guest.
Okay.
So, but I need if you want, just please reach out to me and we'll talk. I'm hoping to start the show in the next couple of weeks, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be you're going to learn a lot as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'll tell you what my
Excellent.
show is after we
Okay.
stop. Okay.
Well, sure. After you told
Because I
Rob.
know you're going to go, okay, what's your new show?
He didn't catch it, did he?
What is it? Did you say that already?
I said sure after you told Rob.
Oh no, I didn't hear that. But I haven't talked to you very much in the last week or so.
I know. I've been. We're not going to get into that. We'll be here for an hour or two. But anyway, folks, that's going to do it for tonight. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about, but we'll figure it out. But anyway, I guess there's only one thing left for me to say. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. But as always, guys, you know the rest. Happy hauntings.